Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Rita is over there doing her thing. We chilling. We having a good time. I'm out here in Miami as usual. You got the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites over there, messing up the vibes everywhere. You got the Wynwood Marketplace right here. We down in Wynwood. So continuing to have a good time. Oh, snaps. What is that, a tarot card reading? Can they read my future? I'm going to go to a psychic and get a $10 reading. It is from talking about the Hebrew Israelites, because I don't really care about them. I think that those dudes, a lot of those dudes are silly. They don't really understand. I think that they're overly aggressive. They don't understand sales. And I think that because I look at everything from a business perspective, I'm always more effectively able to break down exactly how it is that we need to move. Everything is sales. Everything. Meaning that just because you walk up to people aggressively, don't mean that they're going to listen to you. Let's say hypothetically that they had all of the right knowledge, which in my opinion they don't, because they only look at things one way and they only segment certain things out of the Bible in order to really be able to justify their point. But that's a whole nother conversation. Let's say, for example, they were absolutely, positively right? They lose you. They miss me. Miss me with that, because all that overly aggressive, it's only my way and all of that. Conversations are a two-way street. You cannot do things one way, be a bully, and then think that people are going to listen to you. Be a bully, and then think that people are going to listen to you. That's not what it is. We are not brothers. We are not friends. We are not the same. Everybody can pick and choose the things that they want to believe. We all limited by information, and we all...
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58. Point is verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachak. That's what the thumb. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations which appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. So, brother, y'all, what's up out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Salakia for that. So, this is brother Yawasap out of the Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And I came across this video a couple of days ago and instantly jumped in my spirit to want to do something with it because of the fact, this is our people, typical Jake. You know what I mean? Basically bucking up to the truth. And that's why the scriptures talk about majority of our people going to be, basically destroyed on this side, because most people can't believe. And, and it's crazy because Jake is the most spiritual people. You can go, well, at the end of the day, Jake is the most spiritual people. You know what I mean? It talks about a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You got people that sit up there and believe in sweet baby Jesus. I'm talking about complete niggas, sweet baby Jesus. But when you go into the whole philosophy and the doctrine of Christianity, it's flawed and just, it's bugged out for real. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, scriptures tell many accounts of basically, because basically that's what, the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, used Christianity to actually as a tool. He doesn't really believe. That's why he's always searching some shit out. But he knows because he has actually uncovered and found out stuff. It's accounts that they say they found Noah's Ark. It's accounts of, you think the Bible is such a, and through the Spirit, I've been coming across a lot of videos where you got all these fucking demonotic people, these guys that's got these major platforms on YouTube that, basically kid and joke around with the Bible. Talking about the book of make-believe stories and, if you believe in this, August Alsina literally just said something recently like that. It's funny but he talking about he doing spells. He ain't giving up none of his semen because he's working spells right now. So you believe in witchcraft and sorcery, which is mentioned in the Bible. Well, to show you how cold the Bible is, it tells you in the book of Isaiah chapter 34 about it's no book that could be your mate. There's no book like the Bible. And that's why the Bible is the only book they keep uncovering everywhere around the earth. Just finding all these Bibles everywhere, these ancient Bibles. You think that's by coincidence? It's Salakia though. And it just really pissed me off because, that's our people. You got the greatest gift on the planet because you are a son of the living power. But he more so a bastard, you know what I mean? Like when you go into the Bible, we lost our heritage because of our sins, of our transgressions, of our iniquity. We the only people that can sin. It tells you that. Because if you was never given the law, how can you break it? We was given the law because we made a covenant with the Most High God. And then being that we didn't, basically you didn't hold up to your arrangement, your deal, your agreement, so you're being punished for it. It's amazing. You got to remember, and like I said, so lucky because I'll be going everywhere with this thing. Because like I said, that's our people though. He's the typical nigga. And he thinking because he worldly and he has things. And I look at everything from a business standpoint that you literally, you know something because matter of fact, it's going to make me get a scripture. Because it's funny. He was like, we only bring out certain parts of the Bible. Well, I've been in the truth for a few years now. I'm a baby for real. Still sipping on milk, to be honest. And at the end of the day, I know for a fact we go into the whole Bible. It's Christians that don't go into the Bible. Christians don't want to go into the whole thing about how you got churches that actually cater to, those alphabet people, literally, you know what I mean? But when the scriptures talk about how basically you're supposed to condemn that, it's laws in the Bible. If a woman get raped, it's a way to deal with it. It's not condoning rape, but rape is nothing new. You know what I mean? The brother was just going into the word rape because all rape means is to seize. So when you go into that to seize, to take hold of, when Yahweh Shah come back, he going to take hold of us, the hopeful elect, and basically, seize and take hold of us and take us away. So we going to be raped. You know what I mean? But people don't understand words and you know what I mean? And this devil, because he's a deceiver and he has the power of the tongue, it tells you that in the scriptures, literally he plays with words. That's why you got this thing called double talk or double speech. Niggas think because they say they might be talking about one particular thing but seeing it in another way, so it's in code. But Esau been mastered that. You know what I mean? Like Esau been doing it. They do that on a grand scale though. They do that on TV when you thinking they talking about this. They talking in public in front of many fucking faces saying shit in code. This book of 1 Corinthians chapter 18. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, starting at verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. And to this Jake, but for real, he a heathen because you become a heathen. And that's what the whole scriptures was about in the book of Acts. The Messiah didn't come for everybody. And you got why do you think the Jews, like the fake Khazars over there, they're not Jews, they're the Jewish. You know what I mean? When you go into the suffix ish, is to be like. It's funny because, when we go into the Paleo Hebrew, they talk about it's a goofy and they make it seem like it's like a made up language or whatnot. But it tells you that the name of the Most High God is terrible to the heathen. That's why they won't ever say the name of the Most High God. And I've read books where they know how to pronounce the name of the Most High God. Right. That guy Lou White, what is it called? It's a guy named Lou White that got a book that goes into the Paleo Hebrew and actually he go into a lot of stuff. A lot of pagan traditions and he goes into the Hebrew. Anyhow, Salakia. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 18. Salakia, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved it is the power of Yahweh. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And this Jake that think that he has wisdom, you know what I mean, because he has some carnal things in Babylon, you so foolish and a fool, you not even seeing right before your face that they're changing the actual system. Everything is about to be automated. You got Elon Musk basically making robots right now. Why do you think that is? Because shit gonna get so bad, motherfuckers gonna be like, I'm not about to go work for you for nothing. So, like, because if I'm working in inflation and rent, you got places right now where because of inflation, the rents have went up. You know what I mean? Wait till you literally working and it feel like you just working for nothing. It's already a credit-based system. Motherfuckers is basically living paycheck to paycheck. But you thinking you got something because you got something on a lease or you pay a car note. That ain't even yours. Even when you literally motherfucking pay a car off, that still ain't yours. Because it's a whole different kind of title that you, man, these people own people. When you sign a birth certificate, literally, when your mother signed for you a birth certificate, she's giving you to the state. The hospital can refuse to give you the parent they kid. Did you even fucking know? When a woman actually, the afterbirth and that bag, I forgot what that bag is called that the baby feeds on. Basically, that's your property. Why do the hospital keep it? Do you know what all can be done with that? They make motherfucking drugs out of that stuff. They said, I forgot what that bag is called, but got to do with the umbilical cord and all that shit. Literally, I know I'm sounding kind of goofy speaking on something that I can't think of the name of, but brothers know how that go. The Lord will give you something and take away a thought and all that. We deal with fiery darts. If you ain't know, you're right. Anyway, long story short though, basically that's got your whole genetic makeup in it. That's why the hospital keeps it. Because they, like I said, when you give up plasma, what do you think they do with that? They take that and make medicine out of it. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And this so-called wise guy, because he has a few little trinkets in Babylon, is so foolish. He doesn't understand they're changing the monetary system. You ain't gonna have shit. You gonna look like a dumbass. You know what I mean? While you're talking about, I look at everything from a business standpoint. You know what I mean? So he's the type of motherfucker that will literally know the truth and try and sell it to you. The scriptures talk about sell not the truth, but give it freely. Freely was it given, freely something roughly paraphrased along the lines of that. And that's why the elders always getting in on these other camps. That basically for breakdowns, they selling you, you got to pay for a breakdown. Or for any function, you got to pay to, deal with these functions. With 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the truth. Where's the wise? Where's the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Have not Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua made foolish the wisdom of this world? And he making it foolish now because, like I said again, everything that people have relied on and believed in is being brought to naught right now. They tearing down icons that you've seen for hundreds of years. Because whenever they do that, if you ever been a student of history and watched how patterns go and, and watched how history has moved, history always repeats itself. So that's why it makes complete sense when they say everything is reincarnated. Verse 21, for after that in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. And that's why Yahweh Shah said a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, but the only sign they gonna get is the sign of the prophet Jonas. Salaki, not Jonas, Jonah. And what did Jonah do? Jonah was basically, he had to go prophesy to Nineveh. But Nineveh actually repented. It was already like set up for the Most High to destroy it, so it was destroyed years later, but they repented. And it tells you in the scriptures, if all my people would turn to the east and pray to me, basically he had come deliver us now, but it's already set up like where he's not going to be able to. This truth is so deep. When you go into why this devil really going out in the outer space, do you know it's scriptures in the Bible that say if these devils can actually change the ordinances of the sky, meaning, move the heavens and fuck, like literally, basically, he will basically make us a no people and he wouldn't deal with us no more. They can't even get out the atmosphere though. But this stupid ass guy will believe in the wisdom of Esau. When Esau ain't even came up with nothing himself. The only things that Esau really came up with are things that destroy. Like the pistol, like Winchester. And the ICBMs. But anything that you use to further the society, to make a society, he didn't come up with. He stole from Jake. You know what I mean? When you go into the whole patent system, who you think was coming up with those inventions? It was slaves. The cotton gin wasn't made by no fucking redneck Peckerwood Edomite. It was a fucking Salakia. It was a slave that said, shit, I'm working my ass off. And the Lord put the spirit on him to actually, come up with it. But it tells you that in the scriptures that you basically, you will get no account for your labors. We don't get recognized for shit here. Except for a nigga that can run fast. A nigga that can hit hard. He good at MMA. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 22. Is the point. I'm going to start at verse 21. Because that when they knew Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And like I said again, like I just brought out in that 1 Corinthians, because the wisdom of this world is considered foolishness to the Most High. The truth is simple, but it can be complicated to a nigger. And that's why it talks about riches are not comely for a niggard. And you know what? I think I'm going to title this lesson that, because the simple fact is, the true riches is this wisdom. It tells you in the book of Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6 about wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of thy times. So with the times that coming, paper money ain't going to do shit. They're converting paper money right now. Do you not know what's going on with Russia and America and all that old shit? Why do you think the cost of goods is going up? Because people aren't dealing with the American dollar like that. And pretty soon, this inflation that you seeing an extra 50 cent here, an extra 30 cent here, is going to lead to hyperinflation. When you're going to be going to try to buy a loaf of bread, and that bitch going to be like $40. And that has taken place in history. But this so-called businessman thinking he... man... And the thing is, he a peon, because the people that really got some kind of awareness or something, they peons as well, but at least they more up to date, up to speed than him. You had that bitch Khloe Kardashian. She was up there showing off her bunker. Why you think she's showing off a bunker, a fully stocked bunker with food and all that? Why you think they doing shit like that? You don't even question it, huh? 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Verse 16. The thing is, like when the brother that did the lesson, I don't know that brother's name, but I know he subscribes to the doctrine of GMS. At the end of the day, I think his channel's Bible Defenders. He literally said he could see, because I can see it too. This guy likes to talk. He had to talk to somebody, so literally he talked to the phone. But he probably went and said something to the Israel, them whoever them brothers is, because like I say, if you're preaching the truth, I commend you on that. You might not have 100% truth, and that's where you're going off. At the end of the day, but you got more than one camp. You got different camps with different philosophies and different doctrines. So if you got a different doctrine, that's why it can never be a unity camp where all these different camps come together. That's some worldly type shit. The scriptures say it was going to be elect, meaning a remnant. It tells you about basically the Lord doesn't deal with big numbers. The Lord doesn't want everybody joined onto everybody, because we brought this out at camp. The Lord didn't give this to everybody because it's a secret. It tells you in the scriptures when Yahweh Shah said, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, said, I no longer call you servants, but call you friends. Because basically he revealing secrets to us, and secrets you don't tell to everybody. Even in the world, when I was a nigga, everybody didn't know where this was coming from, and you know what I mean? Like, only, the select few know. A whole bunch of people don't know a secret. And when you go into the number of people that's in the truth, that know the truth, you might you know, you're going to have 11-hour brothers and sisters and their children and all that is going to come in at the last minute. But for the most part, the brothers that's out there on the highways and hedges, we are, I ain't going to say inconsequential because this thing is a big thing. Why you think they coming up with the whole thing now? You got these black nationalists shooting up train stations and shit. Now, nobody got no video or none of this shit. It ain't no video or none of this, right? Him shooting up shit, right? Where that's at? You know what I mean? Just you got this whole file on this guy, and this guy was this, and this guy was that. But then, do you not know Esau Edom has software where he could take a video I did, my face, and change up what I said? You people don't understand. So again, like I said, while that Jake sitting up there talking about, well, you know, this and this and that, and you can't just bully a person into believing the truth. Again, like I said, he said we come out with segments of the Bible. We come from, I mean, as long as I've been in the truth, any question I've had about the scriptures, I've forgotten the answer. You know what I mean? Like anyone. I know a lot of people that go to the church and ask their pastor questions and don't get no answers. That's why you got so many people leaving the church, especially due to the fact when people needed some kind of spiritual guidance. The church was not fucking open. They said, come online. Still send us your money. We was our way on the highways and hedges. So the thing is this, well, what they about to do to the world is going to basically take faith to actually be able to, you know, deal with this. People have families. You about to be put in a situation that you might have to watch your child suffer because you ain't got no way to feed them. And it ain't the fact that you ain't going to have the money to feed them, but you might not, you know what I mean? Like, it would be the fact that you can't get to the food because a famine is not a lack. It's not no food at all. A famine is a lack of food, a lack of resources. And just like how it slowly came to a halt and you couldn't get certain products, that's what's going to happen now. You know, these supply chain shortages is going on. And he, as wise as this guy is, does he know? Because if you was really wise, would you really be kicking it in Miami? To show you how goofy the nigga is, literally the first thing, but you see what kind of spirit he got. I mean, a brother in the truth and got a spiritual eye. The first thing the nigga say, he had something bad to say about the Israelites. And then he said, but I'm going to go get a tarot card reading. The scriptures telling you about dealing with psychics and shit like that. Did you know that? The scriptures talk about dealing with a witch. Do you know that? Do you know that's a punishment unto death? And he just lightly, I'm going to go get a $10, you know, not understanding you breaking the law, statute, commandments of the Most High God, and that's a penalty unto death. So may the Lord, you know, judge this motherfucker in a way that's convenient and right to the Lord. But I know, is a person deserving of judgment because we all are deserving of judgment. If Yahweh Shah was judged, and I know that probably went over your head. At the end of the day, we are commanded to go out on the highways and hedges. Actually, Yahweh Shah said it in the book of Luke. You know, that's why he talked about feed my sheep. When he told Peter, do you love me? Well, then feed my sheep. So we commanded to do this. We ain't doing this for fucking fun. You know how much come with this? Because you got to understand, we still in the fucking world with these niggas. In a world of darkness, it tell you in the book of 1 John that the whole world lieth in wickedness. So we up here trying to preach light and preach the truth in a world that's basically not looking at the Bible no more. This is not back in the day when the school still, you could say prayer in school and shit like that. They teaching your kids to be, you know, LBGTQRS and D, you know what I mean, in the school now. If you can't see this place satanic, you really literally blinded. But it tells you in the book of Revelations, the first chapter, that all eyes shall see Yahweh Shai when he come back, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. And he not coming back to talk about kumbaya. When you go into the day of the Lord in the Bible, I challenge you to go and actually Google the day of the Lord and see how many times it's mentioned. And then read the scriptures. It's not a day of, oh, we all go come together and high five. And that's a doctrine. Because you got people teaching you something, but you're not reading it for yourself. That's why scriptures talk about study to show thyself approved. This motherfucker sitting up there and heard, we probably had one interaction with the Hebrews, didn't like what they said, and now you offended, but hurt. Because he think he knows some shit, but you be surprised what brothers know. Brothers know some shit. You got to understand, brothers, y'all be just looking at men that be on the corners talking about wearing curtains and shit. Men be driving shit nicer. So, like, we in the world as well. You have had men that left actual, like, I know dudes. It's a dude that's in our camp that played for the Browns. Right, the fuck? So, like, that's the coldness about how the Lord about to do this shit. And everybody know this the truth. That's why because the truth is about sacrifice. Yahweh Shai literally sacrificed his life. So you don't think you're going to sacrifice some shit? And if you can't, then that's going to be the sacrifice. What you can't give up is going to be your sacrifice. So that's why it talks about in the scriptures, if any man that love father, mother, sister, brother, child, anything more than me is not worthy of me. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. Right, because we ain't shit. It tells you in the scriptures, the Lord look at our righteousness as filthy rags. As righteous as the priest Joshua was when Satan came to accuse him, he was looking filthy. And the Most High had to give him brand new garments, clean him up. Because the Most High basically forgave him and redeemed him. You got to understand, Satan is an accuser, and the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon, Satan, is about to basically, it tells you in Revelations 12:12 that the devil shall come down with great wrath because he knows he have but a short time. This man is about to implement some shit that has never been done in history. He's trying to have complete control of everything. With all them futuristic movies that everybody think is so cool, do you really understand the concept of what they coming with? You ain't gonna have no fucking freedom. All for convenience? Go look at Total Recall and think about what I'm saying, and then I bet you would come with a new light. They couldn't move. It says for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Meaning it was my duty. It's necessary. Yea, woe on, so like you say, yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel, because with much is given, much is required. So basically, it tells you, I think it's Ezekiel talks about basically being a watchman and basically warn thy people. And if I warn thy people, basically the Lord is gonna. But if you don't warn the people, basically, those people's blood is on. Basically, the Lord is gonna hold you accountable for not warning them. Book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 19. But like I said, a guy like that, Jake, like I say, at the end of the day, worldly, you know what I mean? And a nigga ain't just because you live in a project. You got nigga, look at a person like 50 Cent. That's a nigga. You know, look at a person like Lil Baby. That's a nigga. But to show you how we really the people, like the same brother that did this video, that Bible Defenders, he did a video about Lil Baby with his last baby mama. And basically how he had to call the police on her to get her up out of his house because of the fact, and that go back to the curses. We go through that type shit. We lowly level like what the world would call niggas. This guy got all the money. He going through the same shit. Why do you think that is? And then the thing is this, when Jake go through it, nobody go through it like Jake do. You got all men that get into it with their women, especially in Babylon, because Babylon caters to women. A woman can do no wrong here. And a woman gonna feel very stupid when they show you that you can't really function without a man. See, a man can function without a woman. They show you that locked up. I was raised with a man that showed me how to wash my. It's a good help when you doing these things, cleaning and cooking. But I could do all that shit. I was, self-sufficient. A man can, But a woman will be lonely without a man. Says Mark 4 and verse 19, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word and it becometh unfruitful. I was just trying to get to the point, the cares of this world, but this is going into that seed, because we drop the seed to many of people when we on the highways and hedges, when we do our videos, all that. But because of the cares of this world, if it don't take root, you know what I mean? That's why it talks about the seed sown on solid or good foundation. That's why it's so important, a good foundation. And when you go through your different trials and tribulations, that's the building up of your foundation. The brothers every brother should have some kind of testimony with about the Lord. And that's why brothers stood firmly on what they gonna do and what they not gonna do. But you got to understand, things are gonna constantly increase, because it's not really this Edomite that's doing this. It's really the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is the book of John, chapter 3. Verse 19. So, when you read the scriptures, you understand that we all are meat puppets. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have free will. You have the illusion of free will. I remember times I'm thinking I'm going to go do something one particular day, and I end up in jail. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck? So if you really planned out your day or you really control shit, you can't even control how you look. You didn't control how you looked. So how the fuck you got control? This book of John chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation that... No, I'm gonna start up. John chapter 3, verse 17. For Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Now, in scriptures talk about if he had not come, they would have no cloak for their sins. Being that they basically, if he had not come, they would, but being that he came, they have no cloak for their sins. So, like, in a way, he did come to condemn the world. Basically, the world, though, is not the whole entire world. When you go into those different words, like, see, I would have to go get the blue letter, which I'm not about to do. But that's me going off, too, because I should know the word. But it's a Greek word, the cosmos. One word means basically the nation, and another word means the entire actual world. That's why it's important. I never understood the importance of a concordance. That's why it's so important to understand words. And like I said, when you understand that this devil plays on words, that's why, my demon, when I first met her, she always kept a dictionary because of the power of words. Words have power. If your tongue has power, that's why they don't want some certain speakers. They had something in place. What's that? That COINTELPRO, with Hoover. And, the FBI that you people y'all trusting the government. How fuck are you trusting this government when they've been going after our leaders from the get-go? And now the leaders you got is basically fucking sellouts for real. Like, you got Black Lives Matter that these 3 demonic bitches that sit up there and bought mansions off this shit. You know what I'm saying? Where is all the help for the people that struggled and shit? People that actually was affected. But you had all these fucking different leaders of these organizations. When if you actually do enough research, you'll find out that it ain't really even a black organization. It's a so-called white people organization with the black faces on it. He say, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. And it tells you in the scriptures that only by this name can thou be saved. And it ain't Jesus. Because when people would call those sweet baby Jesus for what? Shit, since slavery. Yeah, what they say, the good ship Jesus? It was a slave ship named Jesus. Go look that one up. Verse 19, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Verse 20, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. That's why you live in a society that's telling you, do as thou wilt. It's okay. Do what make you feel good. The scriptures and the disciples, when you go into disciple, it basically breaks down a discipline. It's a lot of stuff that you can do, but it's a lot of stuff that you shouldn't do. And it ain't just because wisdom is prudence. You know what I mean? Like, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. You get what I'm saying? Too much fucking can kill you. You know what I'm saying? Drinking too much water can kill you. So just because you can, do something doesn't mean, like, it's no sin against drinking water, but should you drink all the water? It's a such thing called water poisoning. Book of John, chapter 7, verse 7. It says, the world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. So it tells you in the scriptures, the servant is not greater than the master. So if they hated the son of the Most High God, they hate you. And the crazy part is, when we speak these words, these are not our words. This is out of the scripture. So you really hate the Most High. So what you think your reward is? Another point about words. Like when you go into the word reward is not always a good thing. It basically breaks down recompense, a payment. So you can get a good reward or you can get a fucked up one. And that's why it tells you in the book of Revelations about my reward is with me. To give to every man according to their works. So some people are going to get salvation while some people are going to get condemnation and death. This is the final scripture. Book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 12. Says, at the end of the day, it talks. This is Romans 14, verse 12. So then every one of us shall give account of himself to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is coming back to judge the world. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that in Revelations.